So back again. There's a Sunday night football game currently going on, but I, honest to God, have no interest in watching the Browns and the Giants, who stink to begin with, but their quarterback's out, and Jason Garrett got COVID, so they got Colt McCoy and Freddie Kitchens playing the Browns. It's an interesting story because both of those guys are Browns fan or former Browns, but I ain't trying to watch that. But there was a very good game, the only game of teams with winning records, probably the best game of the weekend. Just got done not that long ago, less than an hour ago. The Chiefs and the Saints. Chiefs won 32-29. They dominated the ball. So I looked at the box score, and I watched the game, but I looked at the box score, and I saw the amount of attempts that Patrick Mahomes threw. Patrick Mahomes had 47 pass attempts. Le'Veon Bell had 15 rushing attempts. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 14 attempts. Mahomes had 7 rushing attempts himself. They had 85 total offensive plays. They had the ball for 40 minutes. Almost 41 minutes of a game. So the fact that this game was as close as it was is a testament to the Saints, because they had the ball less than 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes for the whole game, which is wild. I wasn't sure. So coming in, Saints defense, everyone's talking about, oh, they're the best defense in the NFL, which, yep, on paper they might be. I was a little skeptical because recently they haven't played anyone good. They played the Falcons a couple times. A couple weeks ago they played the Broncos with the practice squad guy playing quarterback, but he wasn't even a practice squad quarterback. He was a practice squad wide receiver playing quarterback. So I thought their numbers were a little inflated. Not saying that they weren't a great defense. I wasn't sure if they were the best defense. They look like a very good defense. Patrick Mahomes, statistically, he threw 3 touchdowns, didn't throw a pick. He completed just over 50% of his pass, probably around like 54%. They had him looking uncomfortable. They did a very good job. So he threw 3 touchdowns, didn't turn it over, but he did not look super comfortable all the time. So he made a couple of Mahomes plays. That's why he's the best player on the planet. But their defense is legit, and that will be an asset for them in the playoffs. I like, from a Chiefs perspective, I like that they ran the ball. Between their 2 running backs, and Edwards-Helaire got hurt. I don't know if it was serious or not, but he did come out. I'm not sure if he went back in. I wasn't really paying attention. But they ran the ball with their 2 guys 29 times. Bell got the ball 15 times, averaged 4 yards a carry. Edwards-Helaire averaged over 5 yards a carry. Give them the ball. I think they combined for almost 140 yards. Continue to give them the ball. I like that. That's a good dimension. Not putting it all on Mahomes. Mahomes can do it, but now if you could run and throw, it's going to make that offense even more dynamic. And Andy Reid, some of the plays that they come up with, the motions, the little flip passes by Mahomes, just like he's shooting a free throw. It's wild what they do. You love to watch it. I love watching them play. It's great. They look like they're having fun out there. It does not look like it's fun for the defense trying to stop them, but that offense looks like they're having fun. Let's go the other side. The Saints. Close game. Their defense played very, very well. This is going to be one that's going to catch me flack, and I'm going to get, if there are Saints fans that come across this video, they are going to rip me apart. I feel like here's the reality of the situation. Drew Brees needs to pack it in. This needs to be his last year, and if he's dead set coming back next year, continuing to play, which I'm not sure. There was a rumor came out that this will be his last year this week. I think Sean Payton addressed something where, if he does decide to retire, Jameis and Taysom Hill will have a chance to compete if Jameis comes back, yada, yada. But this should be his last year, and if he's dead set on coming back, you just need to cut bait and let him go find somewhere else. Now, granted, last year when he got hurt, and Teddy came in, and Teddy went 5-0. Teddy wasn't lighting it up, but I said I would have kept Teddy as the starter, and I would have just said, hey, this is our transition. We're moving on, and we're just going to roll with Teddy for the next couple of years until we can put ourselves in a position to draft someone and see what happens. Because, I'm going to be honest, Drew Brees is probably not winning you a Super Bowl. Not this year, not any years after it, because physically he just does not have it. Up here, still has it. Anticipation, throws it real well. Gives his guys chances to catch the ball. But I literally watched him on a sideline ball on a streak to Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders had a great release, had like a 3-step lead, should have been a walk-in touchdown. Drew Brees threw it down the sideline, and threw it about 35 yards. I feel like Drew Brees' arm tops out at 35, 40 yards. And unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get all the way through a playoff, through the NFC playoffs, and then win a Super Bowl like that. You might win one game in the playoffs. The last couple of years, they've gotten knocked out in the first round. This year's a little different because I think their defense could carry them to a couple wins, but this needs to be the end of Drew Brees. Nothing against him. It's just, man, 41. He had that devastating shoulder injury like mid-2000 before he became a Saint. Like, that stuff's going to catch up to you. That stuff isn't going to, that's going to catch up to you. He threw one interception, which was terrible, because now you see guys like Mahomes and Rodgers and Allen and these guys that could just, plant all they see it come open, they could just throw it all arm. Drew Brees can't do that, but attempts to do that. He needs to be moving forward. He needs to be getting his momentum going towards the target to throw it with any type of juice on it. And if he decides that he wants to throw a 5-yard out or ball in the flat because he sees it come open and he throws it and there's a defender anywhere close, that's getting picked off all the time because he just doesn't have the juice and just the arm without getting the lower body into it to complete those passes. Doesn't have it. Hate to say it. Guy's great. He's going to go down as one of the best to ever do it. Doesn't have the juice now at 41 years old. Needs to pack it in. Again, like I said, it's not bad. The Packers now just need to win one game to get the number 1 seed, so the Saints probably will not make that happen. But again, the Packers still have to play the Titans next week. Derrick Henry went off this week, so they're going to have trouble stopping him. And then they play the Bears, who beat the Vikings this week, and the Bears are trying to, that could come down. The Bears might need that game to get into the playoffs. So, and the Packers did not look good last night against the Panthers. So the Saints still have a chance, but the Packers just need to win one out of the next 2 to get the 1 seed. The Saints obviously need to win their last 2. This was the toughest remaining matchup. Obviously, the Chiefs probably the best team in the NFL still, but I think Drew Brees, depending, and it's from everything I just said about Drew Brees, them getting the 1 seed is going to be very, very important because if they go to Lambeau, if they have to go to Lambeau, and it's below 20, Drew Brees is going to struggle. And they don't have the type of running game. It's not like they have Mark Ingram anymore. They have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara's 5'10", 195 pounds. He's not going to just beat the Packers and wear on the Packers like a guy like Mark Ingram. Well, they have Latavius Murray. They probably need to hand him the ball more in a matchup like that. Maybe down the stretch, I'd start getting him the ball more. But Drew Brees is going to be one of the limiting factors, I think, when it comes playoff time. Which is tough to say because, again, mentally there. He makes the right decisions. But he just doesn't have the physical tools like he once was. So he can't have those lapses where he forgets that he doesn't have the physical tools that he did when he was pre-shoulder injury or 5 years ago. But Chiefs keep rolling. They're going to lock up the 1 seed. I don't know if they did. They may have locked up the 1 seed. I think if they win one game, because they could technically lose their next 2 and the Steelers could win out and the Steelers would get the 1 seed. But Chiefs pretty much all but locked it up. Win one more game. Mahomes might have put himself back in front in my eyes to get the MVP after Aaron Rodgers' poor performance. Chiefs fans, the way they ran the ball, should feel good coming down the stretch here. Saints fans should feel good about their defense because they proved that they might just be the best defense in the NFL. They should be worried about Drew Brees, and I know it was first game back from cracked ribs. You could use that as an excuse, but again, it's the arm. It's been the arm all this year. It's been the arm all last year. It's been the arm the year before that, but now it's 3 years later, so you can make all the excuses you want, but his arm just isn't there, and he would be the thing that I would be worried about most coming down the stretch. And now that you don't have a number 1, or you don't have a replacement after him, I don't know if Jameis is the guy. I wouldn't say Jameis is the guy. I don't think he's the long-term answer if Drew Brees does retire. And I don't think Taysom Hill's the long-term answer because he's a runner. He runs the ball. He could occasionally complete it. I don't think he's ever going to turn into that franchise quarterback. And he's not a dynamic runner like Lamar Jackson or anything like that. So I don't think his rushing ability is that much of an X factor like it is for a guy like Lamar to say that he's a franchise quarterback. That's my take on that. I guess I'm going to go back and watch that Browns-Giants game. Damn.